Okay. What's good, Spurs fans all over the world? I am that Hotspurs guy. Call me Kieran. There probably isn't enough of us left. That's gonna be like the new introduction now. But yeah, look, it's been a hot minute. So I've thought to myself, let's try and do one of these live streams. I'm trying to get the hang of this right now. I am swamped looking at this StreamYard thing. I am absolutely swamped. I don't even know where to look and what to do. But it's going to be a quick, short one. I just wanted to quickly come in here and just kind of speak about what's next for Tottenham Hotspur and what everybody else is talking about right now, because Ange Postecoglou had himself a little interview with Gary Neville and them man there on that overlap show that they have. And again, some people are losing their marbles about what Ange said. Like, oh my God, you see, Ange, anybody who was mad at Ange, just come on. Come on. Like, I'm just, yeah, you know what it is for me? I am extremely, extremely bored and tired of hearing the name Ange Postecoglou. But anyway, he came out and said, uh, not verbatim, but he came out and said basically how the club doesn't buy anybody that the club should be buying. So when you look at a club like Arsenal, they go out and spend 100 million on Declan Rice. Tottenham Hotspur don't do that. No shit, Sherlock. We knew this already from like 15 years ago. Again, one of my most prolific sort of things about why I hate Levy and Enoch was again what I like to call Harry Redknapp's infamous January transfer window. All right. And everybody remembers that infamous January transfer window when Harry Redknapp was like, look, get me either Aguero or Tevez and Samba or Cahill. And the club turned around. The club turned around and said, you know what we'll do for you? You know what we'll do for you? We'll get you always injured Louis Saha and soon to be relegated with Blackburn, Ryan Nelson. And we all know how that season ended up by the end of the season and where we were sitting in that January too. So again, all of this shit isn't nothing new. And it's also one of the reasons why, because I think there was talks of talk coming out of the club of players were kind of frustrated with Thomas Frank because he was constantly speaking about just how well Arsenal are doing, and you should be looking at how. And I know some fans are like, "Oh, you shouldn't be speaking about." But from my perspective, I'm like, yeah, he should be kind of speaking to the Spurs players and be like, look at your rivals, like look at your rivals, look what your rivals are doing. Not 5-6 years ago, that was you, that was us, that was us. And we just gave it all away. We threw it all away to kind of just be like, no, we'll rest on our laurels. We've got a good 11 right now. We don't need to do anything else. We'll chill. And we allowed everybody else to buy and buy and buy and buy and get better. And now look at us. You know what I mean? So it's like, again, with Frank talking about just look how well Arsenal are doing. Yeah, I'm with him on that aspect. Like, you shouldn't always be talking about Arsenal. Let's just be real. But in the sense of like trying to galvanize your players and show your players like, brethren, wake up. You're fighting in relegation right now. You're at the bottom of the table. Last season, at the bottom of the table. Wake up. You need to sort it out. You need to try and be just like them up top. You know what I mean? So again, we've got people just like, Ange is an absolute legend for coming out and saying what he said. And I'm just like, why we knew this already. And obviously, Ange is going to come out and say that now because Ange isn't under the employment of Tottenham Hotspur. But when he was under the employment of Tottenham Hotspur, he didn't say any of this. You weren't coming out in January saying like, oh, you wanted this man and that man, but they gave you this man and that man. You wasn't saying that when you signed on Timo Werner. You know what I'm saying? Again, like you took Timo Werner twice. You know what I mean? You took him twice, you know? And then on top of that, you got Matthias Tell coming in as well. And then you was like, yeah, I'm good with Matthias Tell as well. Like that's fine. Like, no, Ange, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, don't come out now after Thomas Frank has been sacked, speaking on Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. And again, yes, we know the club doesn't go out and buy the players that they should be buying. They don't go out and buy player A from, or player from category A, or player from category, you know what I mean? They don't do that. They go straight to D and E. We know this already. As Spurs fans, we know this. You're not telling us anything new. You know what I'm saying? You're not telling us anything new. So I know like some fans are gonna cream their pants over what Ange said last night. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, anything for them to continue on with this. Ange was the best thing since golden toasted buttered bread. Like, brethren, we finished 17th. The losses began with him. The losses began under Ange, people. You know, this fighting relegation started under Ange, people. But he won us a trophy, though. He won us a trophy. Where is the love for Wande Ramos? Like, where is the love for Wande Ramos as much as my man is getting? Like, I get it. A Europa Cup trophy and a Carling Cup trophy are two different things. They're two different things. I know this, you know, but come on, people. Like, so again, let's move on from Ange, because I hate talking about the man. I hate Spurs fans still continuously talking about the man. Just put a sock in it now, okay? Put a sock in it. There's no need to compare Thomas Frank with Ange Postecoglou anymore, because both are gone. Both are gone, enjoying their pay packets. All right. All right. So, where do we head on? Where do we go from here, Spurs fans? Where do we go? Because we know we need an interim. We're not gonna get a full-time manager right now. We know this. We're not gonna get a full-time manager. Where do we go for the interim? De Zerbi, Harry Redknapp. You know, who is there? Really, who is there to come in as an interim? Robbie Keane? You want Robbie Keane to leave his permanent job to come into shitty Tottenham? And like I said just yesterday, any manager who has any pride and self-worth will turn down any opportunity to come and manage at Tottenham Hotspur, because we've seen it enough now. I think we've seen it enough to know that any coach or slash manager who comes in here isn't going to be a coach or slash manager. They are going to be a caretaker. That's all they are going to be. Caretakers. They'll come into Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. They may ask for certain players that they would like, you know, to build a team, but they won't get it, you know. They could ask for just randomly play, like they could ask for Quaresma. I know Quaresma's an old ass player, but I'm just talking in general. They could ask for this person or a Defoe or a, you know what I mean? But they're not going to get that player. Never have, never will. Poch barely got the players that he wanted. Harry Redknapp didn't get the players he wanted. AVB, remember Moutinho and a couple other man, didn't get the players that he wanted, but we'll sell off Bell and we'll give you the hateful eight. That's what we'll do. We'll give you the hateful eight in Kirikes and Paulino, Paulinho and damn it, who was some of the other ones? What's my man's name? Capoue, and you know what I'm saying? That's who we'll give you. You know, you might want the top guys, but we'll give you the guys that play Sunday Marsh League football. That's who we'll give you, because we don't want to be spending that much. We don't really want to try and get to that level and have to maintain and sustain it. You know what I'm trying to say? That's not what Tottenham Hotspur do. We know this as Tottenham Hotspur fans. If we've been keeping up, some of the fans haven't been keeping up. Some of the fans still believe that we can go out and buy this player and buy that player. And we could and should have. It's like when I was speaking about the Eze deal, for instance, and everybody's like, no, Arsenal had that deal. Brethren, look, let me tell you something. As soon as the window opened, if Spurs put down 80 million, right from the get-go, as soon as the window opened to get Eze, Crystal Palace would accept, okay? And Eze is not going to sit there waiting on Arsenal to figure out whether they want him or not, which they waited like, 4 or 5 weeks before they said, yeah, we need to go and get him because Martinelli's injured. Come on, people. We could have got the Eze if we put down the money for him, but we don't do that. We don't do that. We put down, Crystal Palace demand 65 million and we put down 39.2, and we'll come back to you in a week. We'll come back to you in a week because we know you're going to turn that down, but we'll come back to you in a week with 42.5. And then we'll come back to you a week later with 47.3. That's what we'll do. We won't just slap down the money, even though we know we have it. We had the money. We had the money. We didn't get Morgan Gibbs White. We had the money. You know what I'm saying? We were told we had 150 mil to spend in January. We spent like 12 million in January. We spent like 12 million. And then now they're telling us, well, we got a big war chest, a big treasure chest, just sitting there waiting for the summer. Where is it? You know what I'm saying? Last summer, where is it? You know, like even this January, they could have still even just purchased Paulino from his loan thing, from his loan spell. You know what I'm saying? They could have just bought him out of his loan spell and made that permanent. And most people would have been like, okay, we're getting started on something, but we didn't even do that. We brought in a left back, a 18, 19-year-old left back from Brazil that took like almost 2 weeks to get him here. You know what I'm saying? We brought some 19-year-old striker from Scotland who hasn't scored or assisted, but we'll try him out. We'll try him out just so we can, you know, we hijacked the deal against Arsenal, but we'll try him out. We'll try him out, but he's not going to get tried out either, you know? So where do we go? Where do we go from here? What's next? Who do we bring in? You know, like what happens from here up until the end of the season? Who comes in? Who changes it? Who gets us the points that we need to avoid going down? Who? I have no idea. I'm being honest. I have no idea because, again, I feel like these players are untrustworthy and they will show us just how untrustworthy they are. Because, again, they got 5 days off right now. They got given 5 days off. You guys have had such a hard time. We'll give you 5 days off while we figure out who the hell we can bring in. Tottenham Hotspur people. It's just like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? You know? And all we're going to be speaking about for the next 5, 6, 7, 8 hours is what Ange Poster No Clue said. Just still with the dick in their mouths, man. And then some of the people that's going hard for Ange are one of the very people who was grilling him out for the entire year. Grilling him out for an entire year. Even a year and a half. Saying things like if he re-signs Timo Werner, he's done. He's a yes man. He's this. But, you know, we get to a finals, we win a final due to the players wanting to win the final because it wasn't Ange Ball that won us the final, people. Let's be real. Let's be real. One shot on target. 20-something% possession. That is not Ange Ball. It's not. That is Thomas Frank Ball. It was the players. Like, and I don't know why we can't accept that. But, again, as a football club now, where do we go? Where next? Who's next? And how long is that next manager going to last? Are we going to bring back Poch? And again, like I said, bringing back Poch is just throwing a big old rug over the giant hole, over the giant chasm. That's all it is. You know, it's not going to do anything. And it's just nostalgia baiting. That's all it is. People who want Poch back are those who that they just want that feeling of, oh, Champions League semi-final night against Ajax, you know, or getting to the final that everybody cussed him out for starting Harry Kane anyway. Everybody cussed out Pochettino for starting Harry Kane and not starting the hat-trick hero Moura, because we all know if Moura started and then Kane came on with about 20-30 minutes to go, we'd have won that regardless of that penalty that happened 1 minute into the game that everybody likes to talk about and complain about. It was 1 minute into the game, people. 1 minute. And we still had a whole 90 to go. But our assholes fell out. You know, giving up all of those domestic trophies and things like that. Look, again, winning the Champions League and the Premier League is the peak in it. It's peak. It's what all Spurs fans want to see. I would like to see us win a Premier League before I disarray. You know, I would like to see that. But we have other teams in the league who are far better than us and who know how to win the league. You know what I'm saying? Like, even just looking at the league when Leicester won it as well is a madness, because how Leicester managed to win it is crazy to me now. It's absolutely crazy. And then the next season, we finished second to Conte's Chelsea. Like, we still couldn't get over the line. And then even then, when we could have brought in more players, Pochettino said no to some of the players. Like, you know what I mean? Do we remember where we were in that season where he was sacked? Most of the fans wanted him gone. Most of the fans were like, oh, look, some of the things he's saying, I don't like what he's saying. He seems like he's trying to push for a new job elsewhere and things like that. Oh, he's got us sitting in 14th. He needs to go. And then now 6 years later, when as fans, some of us are crawling on our hands and knees back in. Poch, please come back and save us. Please come back and save us. Like, no. It's not the same club no more. It's not the same Tottenham Hotspur football club that he left behind or that he joined up with. It's not the same. Even looking at it now, and the way how the owners and the board of directors have they've moved so slowly on all of this. They've reacted so slowly on all of this. It almost has me feeling and thinking that possibly they are trying to sell the club. Like, they're trying to find buyers. Levy, it's almost looking like Levy probably did step down because he was kind of planning all of this shit ahead, or saw it coming and knew that if I step down, they up top, who I answer to, they're not going to be able to do much. So then they're going to be forced to have to either spend big or try and find a buyer before we get relegated. Because again, Levy, like where some people say Levy would have acted much quicker to sack Thomas Frank. We were sitting languishing in 17th. But he still kept giving Ange the chance to try it. Like, from since January all the way down to the end of the season, last season, we were terrible. Absolutely terrible. But he was still given the chance. Levy didn't pull the trigger like he normally did, or like he normally does, should I say. He didn't do that. So, again, people, where do we go? Nobody has a clue. Nobody has an idea. People just throwing out names. And again, like, yeah, Harry Redknapp. But if Harry Redknapp's going to come in, then bring the foe with you. Bring a couple Spurs man with you. And you just kind of relax in your chair. Don't do too much. Let the foe and the man do most of the man management and those sort of things there. Let the man do that. I don't know, man. Right now, the club is in turmoil. It's in disarray. It's trash. And I've been saying, man. So yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. That's all I'm saying. Like, I have no idea whatsoever. But I do know that I do have an idea that when I wake up later on, because I ain't even slept yet. I got back home from work this morning and I ain't even slept yet. But I'm going to be going to sleep soon. But I know that when I wake up, there's going to be a flood of Tottenham Hotspur videos creaming Ange about what Ange said, even though we already know Tottenham don't do that. Even though we already know what Ange said is truth. Like, but again, you don't say this shit when you're at the club. You didn't say this when you was managing us. You know what I'm saying? You didn't come out and say this in the boardroom. Conte and Jose Mourinho have been the only one, and Pochettino slightly, just slightly. But come on, don't come out and say those things now. Like, don't come out and say that now. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah, man, I might jump back on again later on tonight. I might. Depends how I feel. If I feel like talking about Tottenham tonight, because I don't, you know. Well, I might be back on tomorrow. If not, then probably on the weekend. Try and do a live stream on the weekend. I might do these live streams a little bit more, you know, even though nobody's been up in here, but that's all fine. I don't mind, you know, just here chit chatting away. But that's all I wanted to say, man. I just wanted to say that, yeah, like Ange, don't come out now talking shit now. You know what I'm saying? Don't come out now talking about, yeah, da, 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 da. Like, again, astute Spurs fans know this already. We know that we don't go out and spend what we could go out and spend on players that we could go out and get. We know this. We know this because they've done the same to you and you accepted that too. That's why some fans called you a yes man, only to now spin around and say, Ange, if you hate him, you're a hater. You suck. You're a loser. Like, come on, man. Wait, just miss me with all of that shit. I can't. But yeah, man, I'm that Hotspurs guy, people. I'll be back when this club has something worthwhile to friggin' talk about. Peace.